Last week we had almost 200 students here who were doing an afternoon of expressing themselves about the Rose Art Museum and what it meant to them. I hope some more of you will speak this evening, for those of you who are here. But this is an opportunity for you, the community, to address us, to address your questions, your concerns, your opinions. So we are now accepting comments from you all. I would ask that you keep your comments relatively abbreviated so that we can give as many people who wish a chance to speak. So we have the microphone here. Emily? Did you want to put it there and have people come up?
Hi, I'm Susan Schwab. I have art in the collection of the museum. What can we do? I've already sent dozens of emails. I already wrote something in a piece that it'll appear in Artscope next month, asking, I hope the museum will still be here. Can't bring this anymore. But what are we supposed to do now?
Well, this is a great question.
I mean, there's been a lot of double speak from Riot Arts, you know.
In response to your question of what can we do now, there are several things. There's a section on our website that has some suggestions for you. I think, please be assured that those of us who work here are actively engaged in a variety of measures that we hope will have an effect on the decision-making process. We can't go into all of those, but be assured that there are many efforts afoot. However, I think the Vox Populi, your voice, is ever important. To add to petitions, to write to people you know, contact trustees if you know any of them, keep talking at your dinner tables, keep it in the air. Don't let it go away. I don't think it is going to go away, but the biggest thing is to keep talking. You know, all of the things that have been happening have happened and been organized by people not directly connected with the Rose Art Museum, actually. Yes, myself and John Lee and our board of overseers are doing what we're doing, but most of the things that have been visible in the world have been organized by folks, have been organized by students, have been organized by people we don't know, have been organized by artists like Steve and the intervention that happened here tonight. We applaud any effort. We are not directly engaged ourselves in political protests and so forth. We feel that the world is very much on our side, so we're proceeding apace. We are proceeding to do what we can do. So check the website, keep organizing, do what you do, but let us know what you're doing. We can spread it around. Yeah.
Hi, I just wanted to say in relation to the world that I just spent a few days in ER and women's talking to millions of people, because that's what you do. You tell your story over and over again, and each one wanted to talk about Brandeis and the roads. Every doctor, every neurosurgeon, every nurse's aide, every single person wanted to talk about Brandeis. But most of them thought, as a result of Ubitus having said so, that the roads had been reopened and that the problem was over. So my slightly more focused question is, what can we do about the fact that, whether sympathetic or not, the journalism that's getting out there, especially in Boston, where so many donors and artists live, seems to tell a story quite different from the one that we know.
Okay, that introduces the question of the media and getting the truth out there. I can tell you that the day after the President's comments of apology, which I thought were very good indeed, and other various comments, came out, the article in the Boston Globe was very clear and correct. And as far as we know, the Rose Art Museum, as it has existed historically, is destined to close. And if you read carefully what the president said, that is what he said. And the building is going to be repurposed. Now, it is said that the museum will not close. We don't really know what that means. If the name will be kept on the door, that's another whole can of worms. I can tell you, because the intention was for it to be a museum, not a student facility per se. So the facts are out there, and yes, we've been getting letters of congratulations and bottles of champagne saying, you know, everything's going to be fine. But as far as we know, it's not going to be fine from our perspective. And I think most people are learning that. And you know, the press isn't stopping. We're in the New York Times this evening online. We will be in the New York Times again tomorrow, print. The press is pretty much all over it. You know, these stories unfold, and I'm sure the university feels this way too, that they unfold gradually. Perhaps they'll go away, perhaps they'll die. I don't think that will be the case. I mean, what will happen if any steps are taken to literally close, if and when they're taken to literally close the museum, much less when an artwork is about to be sold, you will hear about this. But there's long, long processes that have to go on before that, and I can tell you from what we know, and others here who are here tonight, if they wish, can address this with more knowledge than I, but this is going to take a long time, years in fact, for this to happen. And if I could just say this parenthetically, a couple of the university trustees whom I have spoken to have suggested that if indeed we could demonstrate that the Rose collection, A, cannot be sold, or B, is not worth all that much money anymore, then perhaps that could reverse the decision. Of course, the collection, we hope, is worth money and will rebound, but today on Bloomberg News, it was reported that Sotheby's rating is becoming junk rating because of recent sales and so forth, that the contemporary art sales, the recent contemporary art sales of Sotheby's were down 84%. So this cash cow that is perceived here is perhaps a wheezing calf that is going to take a long time to grow. Yes. Emily?
Well, I think I can speak.
Take the microphone, please.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could speak to the role of the Attorney General in all of this, because I'm kind of confused about how that works and if there's any hope there.
Do we have, I know some of my board are here, does anybody